Best one. Yeah. No, that chat's here one, but I got that disco shit going.
Yeah. Thunderstruck. Hey, boys, here's a question. I was thinking about this today, and this sounds so friggin' weird, but I'm going to say it anyway, so I don't care. You think they get the reward? Think about that. They turned them in. I mean, that was the.
I would hope so. I mean, encourage people to turn in killers, even if they are family.
I mean, it's weird. It's like, oh God, it sucks. Our kid did horrible things, and he's an evil SOB, and we should disown him. But they did offer $1 million with who was it? Ackerman put in $1 million. Robbie Starbuck put in some money. They had $100,000. You're looking at 1-1. I mean, it sounds like it's
Robbie and somebody else added in $25,000. I can't remember who the other person is.
Yeah. See, so. I mean, you didn't do it for that. And then the thing is, if they said, hey, we got this money for you, would you take it? And because you don't want to be like, no, I wouldn't take it. And then your kid hears about it in jail before they put him on the night-night juice. And, hey, Dad, did you take that? Well, I had to pay for your kid, your brothers to go to school because you ruined our life, you SOB. But I did, somebody just asked that question. Tell me they're not going to get the reward. Well, they didn't know he did it, and they were the first ones to snitch on him. And I don't think there's I don't think they would ask for the reward. I don't. But, I mean, it's an interesting thing. There's no doubt about that. Very interesting. So if you guys haven't heard, they got the guy. I wasn't impressed with the FBI. I haven't been impressed with several things of this administration that I thought I was going to be more impressed with. I actually thought Bondi was going to be way better. She has not done a good job, and I've heard that from a lot of you. Chris and I have talked about that before. I have not been impressed with Cash. I haven't. I thought he would be better, and I don't. Yesterday, even when they had they go and they have this press conference, he didn't even talk. Well, why are you there? You're the head of the FBI. I mean, there's nobody that is in the room that's more powerful that should have the voice, and you didn't say a word. So that I found that to be fascinating as well. So we'll see. Again, the dad turned him in. I guess the way it worked out was, I don't know if it was his roommate or his friend. They were talking the night before at dinner too about Charlie being there, and the guy was angry, and he was talking about how much he hated him and how much Charlie was full of hate. And, this is another thing. I think something they need to start teaching in school is conflict resolution.
Bingo.
I have a conflict. Right? I mean, don't you think we should have a situation where you sit down and then you guys talk things through. And even if you don't agree at the end, you shake hands and you walk away and you find out, hey, both you guys lived and everything's good. You differed in an opinion. But part of that, and I'm telling you, Ken, part of the big issue is we plan everything for kids, even in schools to the point of recess. We don't want there to be, we plan the way they play their games and the way it's no longer run free, have fun, make up games. Kids will get pissed off because you cheated or you did this. I didn't know that rule. There's conflict resolution, and then they fix it and they move on.
Yeah. And that's one thing that, our buddy Scott Sapicki, who is the chairman of the House Education Subcommittee, was the reason for, increasing recess time in Tennessee public schools. It's because during COVID, everything became so freaking scripted and restricted. You had to sit in a certain place when you get to school. You can't just get up and go talk to your friends. I mean, growing up, man, that's where we were allowed to just be ourselves and do whatever we wanted during recess.
Oh my, that was it. I mean, I've heard stories, in California, New York, and Chicago where they have recess coaches.
Yeah.
What the hell's a recess coach? I'm playing dodgeball.
Right. We may have had, there might have been a teacher or a coach, kind of standing around, kind of watching things. But for the most part, they just left us alone.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Now, it just seems like everything. I know at my son's school, man. I mean, he was like assigned a place to sit in the gym until class started. Which, that's ridiculous.
Man, my friend, she told me now she's a principal, but she said, we have recess coaches. And I said, what the hell they do? They they're monitors, but they're out there telling kids, do it this way. And if a kid loses, you don't lose. The other person you just didn't do as good as it was this whole thing about trying to build up self-esteem. But what it was taking away critical thinking, taking away individuality, taking away all of the things that mattered that make you a grown adult.
Right. I had a coach. He wasn't a coach. He was actually our math teacher in the 6th grade. And on Fridays, during the afternoon recess, which was always our long one, it was always like a 45-minute recess.
Yeah.
He let us box each other. Oh. I mean, I got my ass whipped one time, too, man. This buddy of mine, he just whipped my ass. But, I mean, you got beat up. I mean, we weren't hurt by any means. I mean, the boxing gloves were like the size of, I mean, they were big, and I mean, you weren't going to get injured. But they don't do this nowadays.
God, no. They don't even have a boxing glove at a school.
It was fun, man. It was fun to do stuff like that.
Oh, there used to be coaches back in the day. They'd be like, you guys, you need to sort it out right now. Let's get this done.
Exactly.
And then they would sort it out. And you know what? The teacher would pick you up and they say, all right, that's enough.
Yep.
Shake hands. All right, go back to school. Go back to playing.
Yeah. Now, now in this day and age, if a kid is getting bullied and the kid tries to protect himself, he's in trouble too.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Well, and part of that goes back to that liberal wackadoo mindset where they got rid of any kind of justice. They went to that restorative justice in certain things. So kids could never get in trouble. And nobody was, teachers, one of the things the teacher said when all the kids came back from COVID, it was like something switched. And then you couldn't do anything, and there was no discipline. Man, I had a teacher, Miss Winston. She would slap you in the back of your head, and she had these nails. They were talons, and she would grab you, and you would go home and tell your mom, Miss Winston grabbed me, and she grabbed me so hard. And she goes, what did you do? Right? It was never, oh, not you, baby. It's like, well, you're probably acting a fool. That's what you get.
Man. Absolutely, man. I mean, I had teacher. I told you guys about the teacher. I had history teacher in the 8th grade, Miss Jones. She'd say, boy, you got a bad case around your mouth. Get up here. And she would bend you. She'd make you bend over her desk, put your hands on her desk, and she would ball up her fist and hit you in the butt. And I mean, we loved it whenever it would happen to somebody else because it was funny. You can't do that stuff nowadays.
No. And you know what? Your friend would get slapped in the back of the head or something like that, and you would laugh, and they come over and slap you. And then he would, but there was discipline. But the thing is, the discipline wasn't one of those things where it was restored. It was immediate. It wasn't dangerous or evil.
Right.
And then it was over at that second.
Right.
And we moved on.
Yeah, I remember in the 7th grade, there was a bully on the bus that I was on. And finally, somebody told one of the coaches about him. And we pull up to the school one day, and there are 2 of the coaches standing there. And he gets off the bus. They take him somewhere. He never bullied anybody else on that bus the rest of the year. I mean, he sat down and he kept his mouth shut and he left everybody alone.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was handled.
I guarantee you they didn't put him in timeout.
No, timeout. We didn't have time. You know the worst thing you would get? I would rather get swats or slapped in the back of the head. What they used to give you, like, punishment was they knew I couldn't sit. They used to give us you had to write like 500 sentences. I will not do this again.
Yeah.
Or you had to copy 3 pages in the dictionary. You're like, this sucks.
Yeah, timeout was the time you spent out of class while they whipped your ass.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all they did in my schools, man.
Yeah, but you paid attention and nobody died.
Yep.
And you know what? If there was a teacher that was awful, another teacher would step in and go, I don't know what the hell you think you're doing.
Yeah.
That's not the way you do that. but there was always a thought that, I can step, and I may step over, and this may happen to me, but it's not going to be horrible. There was justice because I did something wrong. And the funny thing is, you do something wrong, you did something wrong, and you take the punishment and you move on.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's you can't punish the kids. They've got this, because of kids of color, they're disproportionately punished. And so, there's no fathers in the home and do that. We can go on and on about all these things. But then it was like, if we can't punish the kids, we'll just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? When you let kids do whatever they want, they grow up to be adults that think they can do whatever they want.
They grow up to be real a-holes.
Oh, super A. Look, people are talking about their paddle masters.
Oh.
I think that's a different thing, sir. Yeah. So that's a little different.
My teachers had some interesting paddles. There was one teacher I had. I don't know. I guess if there were holes in the paddle, it hurt worse somehow. I don't know. I got whipped with both kinds of paddles, and it
lowered the wind
the
resistance.
Yeah,
it lowered the wind resistance.
Yeah.
They all hurt.
They did. They all hurt. I mean, thank you, sir. May I have another? Don't ever say that. Man, when I was in a Baptist school. This didn't go well, by the way. I went to a Baptist school. We went to a Nazarene school, then I went to a Baptist school. Not the same religion. We pretend it's the same religion. Not even close.
Right.
The Nazarenes are like, yeah, we're Christian, kind of, sort of, like we are, like, they are. But Baptists, they were serious about it. And we went over there. There was 8 of us that went from elementary school to junior high. None of us made it through the 8th grade. They didn't, and our teachers. But I got swats every day, and my mom wasn't always the most attention-paying mom. So we had a VHS player, and we had Animal House. My mother for years thought it was the Muppets. She didn't know. I'm sitting there watching Animal House because there's boobs on the TV. It's just the greatest thing ever, and. The Kevin Bacon, thank you, sir, may I have another.
Yeah.
So I said that when I was getting paddled.
Oh, boy.
And it was just.
That didn't go well, did it?
No, it didn't. And the funny thing was, they acted like they knew what it. They acted like, oh, how dare you, right? And they went. And then my dad's all. First of all, my dad laughed. He goes, well, that was kind of funny. And secondly, he's like, how would you guys know what that was all about? Because you're supposed to not know those things because you're supposed to be pious, kind of.
Right.
Well, yeah. So, oh God, that was. But there, the conflict resolution, that should be a class taught. It should absolutely.
I mean, it's going to have to be if you're not going to be allowed to be a kid out on the playground.
I know. God, that's a. As everybody always calls me a Euro. Watch the way the Europeans teach their kids. It is so fascinating that, first of all, in many of the Scandinavian, even like the Dutch and stuff. Kids don't go to school at preschool or kindergarten. They sometimes don't go to school till they're 9 or 10 in some areas. And when they do, it's about learning. Like you could get up and walk out of the classroom as a kid and go climb a tree, come back in, and the teacher would be like, "What'd you learn?" It's a different way. And now we can't do that because we have so many kids, and it's a little different. They have school, but it's more free. They still let kids be kids. They still let them do that. We have just decided that we want to. The one thing about recess, it was free of what we were just doing. All you did was move classroom outside with the ball.
Yeah.
And the bullies took care of themselves eventually. Eventually, they took care of themselves, and kids took care of problems. But kids also. Free thinking, coming up with games, doing things, making up the rules, fighting with each other. That's also how you found out who your leaders were. Like what kid was a little bit more leadery than the other kids? Nothing. We take that all away from them. We want everybody to be just pay attention. Yes, sir. No, sir. Oh, it drives me crazy. Coming up a little bit, we're going to try to find somebody around here that's going to tell us more about things going on here. We're out here. It's dirt days. I've had some snacks that I probably shouldn't have. 2 hot dogs. I did it, guys. I had 2 hot dogs, and I had the big brownie. Did you have anything out there, Ken, when you were out there?
Yeah, they were cooking up some dogs, right? But I had to leave to come do the news. But yeah, they were cooking up some dogs. They had a whole bunch of other snacks and some drinks, and
No,
it's a good time out there at Bobcat of Wilson County.
Yeah, so we're out here at Bobcat, right out here in Laverne. So if you guys have a chance, come on out here. We're going to be out here for another 40 minutes or so. Still a chance for you to win. They got the WB 7000 motor. It's a walk-behind mower. So come on out here, a chance to do that. They got great deals going on all day. We're going to be here for another 40 minutes or so. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. It's very interesting listening to getting text messages from people telling them what the school used to call the paddle that they got hit with. This was the Board of Education.
Yeah, I loved that one.
The Board of Education. Oh, my. This is Mr. Wood.
Mr. Wood.
It's coming to drop a can of whoop. It's just, that is so, man, that is, and you know what? We today, like, if you told teachers that could happen, I mean, the kids today, they'd be like, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they didn't care, right? Because the thing is, parents knew that you were a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
See, my parents knew that I was a pain. So they knew that, hey, outside of killing him, you're a little carte blanche to do something. Because he don't listen to us.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I went to school, I never had an incident in any of my – now, I didn't go to – I didn't live in any major cities, major metropolitan areas or anything like that. But none of the kids in my school ever stood up and backtalked the teacher. You just didn't do it. And if you did, and if you would have done it, you would have paid a price.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those teachers and those coaches there in East Texas, whenever I lived there, they did not mess around.
No, they didn't. And they knew. It wasn't one of those things where today the kids run everything for the most part.
Well,
and
even at
fear.
school. If I would have done that at school, I would have had to have dealt with my dad.
Yeah, that's what somebody said. Somebody just said, when I was a kid growing up, if I got spanked at school, I was going to get spanked at home.
Yes, sir.
It was not my fault. You got to believe me. Oh, it wasn't? No. They was like, you probably deserved it. Again, you're acting a fool.
Yeah, there was no, son, tell me your side.
It was always like, you know what? You can't hang out with Johnny. He's bad. I told you that. That's just what you get for hanging out with Johnny. These are the consequences of your actions.
I feel sorry for teachers today, man.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the good ones who have to deal with stuff like this, man.
Well, you're dealing with God knows how many young kids who by the way, would look at their parents and say, you don't have the right to do that to me.
Exactly. Because the parents won't. The parents are weak.
Yeah. I mean, I told my like when these parents, I want to be friends with my kids. Yeah, I do. When they're older, then I'll be a friend. Right now I said, I'm their parent. And in this house, yes, there is a dictator in the house.
You betcha. I'm your friend, but I'll still whip your ass.
Yeah. I mean.
Like you got one that barely listens to you.
Yeah. It's just, it is amazing to watch the way that we've had. And after COVID, something happened. And it just went sideways. And, from restorative justice to just kids didn't care. There's no fear. Right? Like, you can't even get suspended. Remember when you got suspended from school? That's not, you got an in-school suspension. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, what's in-school suspension? You got to come to school. Then I'm just going to school. Well, you got to be in a room by yourself. Well, cool. I'll do this every day. Well, I usually was, but that's not the point. I was so bad in 4th grade that I started the year out facing the teacher. So everybody else was facing one way. I was facing him at it because he knew. They knew. By the end of the second week, I had to spend the entire year sitting outside of the door with the door open.
The only thing I ever had in that respect is that there was a kid, he had to sit right up by the teacher's desk. His desk was pulled right alongside the teacher's desk, and he had to just sit there and face everybody.
Oh, my God. That's what I was facing him, and they – because I couldn't be in the front row because it was worse, because he used to say it was, oh, geez, it's like putting Chad in front of a stage. So we're going to have him face this direction. So I'm facing the opposite direction. looking at the teacher's desk, and I just look at him when he'd be back there. You guys all need to do your work. And I just stare at him. Yeah, this isn't going to last long. So and then eventually put me outside. But then that didn't go as well as they thought because they realized I could just get up and walk away. I've had enough. Oh, my Lord. Those were the days. But you know what? Paid the price for it. I got in trouble all the time. Man, and I got on restriction too. Real restriction.
Yeah.
I got on real restriction. We're like, okay, you can go out back. That's it. Couldn't see my friends? Never.
Yeah, see, that was the big deal, man. If you kept me away from my friends, that hurt. I didn't like that. Like if you had this, you couldn't go out to recess or something like that. But that followed getting your butt busted.
Yeah.
You got your butt busted, and you couldn't go out to recess.
Oh, God. The recess. Oh, if you couldn't go out to recess, you would just, and you'd be on restriction. You'd be like, you have to be inside for the next 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you'd lose recess.
Well,
it was like the worst. That Tuesday night going into Wednesday night, this is the worst day ever.
Well, whenever it happened to me, all those pretty girls, they really suffered because they couldn't chase me.
Yeah, I know. Well, and it sucked for them, too, because I do my homework. So that was that. I did, too. Did you do your homework? Cindy, did I do my homework? I did, sir. All right, coming back, we got more to talk about. I'll talk a little bit about what happened in Utah. They got the shooter, the alleged shooter, but he's the shooter, let's be real. And he's not talking to the police, apparently. No cooperation going on. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Yeah. Brooks is here with me. We're wrapping it up out here. We're going to be here a little bit longer. We're out here in Laverne at the Magical Bobcat. It's dirt days. You guys get shirts, too. Look at that shirt. You can talk now. It's okay.
All right.
There you go.
We want to thank everybody for coming out. It was a great day. You still got roughly 20 minutes left if you're heading home on 24 to swing on in and scan the QR code to enter in the contest. Going to be giving that away sometime this evening, so you don't have to be here to win. You can just pop in, scan it real quick, and, say what's up and leave.
What's up? So you're going to have a chance to win a mower, and it is a
walk behind WB 7000.
What's the 7000? So like
small frame, 36 inches on the deck. So easily able to maneuver hills, able to get into backyards, stuff like that. Fences these days are 4 foot. So 36-inch deck, you're easily able to get in.
Easy to push?
Yes, sir.
So you probably didn't know this.
It pulls you.
Well, there you go. You probably didn't even know this, but back in my day, I used to have a push mower. So this is because my family hated me, and they wanted me to become like I used to always say, it's like Conan. If you ever watched the movie Conan back in the day, he has to push this thing in a circle, and he starts out as a kid, and then he's just a giant guy. And that was kind of what we were dealing with because it was so hard. But these things are so awesome. And you have a chance to win it. So you can still come here, just scan the code, and that's it?
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody else what's going on.
So we have 25% off rental. We're honoring that all day today until 5 o'clock when we close. Also 10% off parts. So you guys that are our loyal customers, come in and take advantage of that. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, and by the way, because we were having a chat, Kirby and I were asking, so what's this thing next to us? What's it cost to rent? It's like, it's $250. I go, so I could just rent it? He goes, no, we don't. We've fallen for that before. So the yahoos don't get to rent this.
No, sir. We prefer to have a business come in. That way we know they have the insurance. If something happens to it while they're hauling it, to...
I bet you have some stories, right?
We do have some stories.
Give us a story.
We have had some horror stories about people strapping them down with yellow ratchet straps and losing them. So, that's somebody that's not qualified. They're not in the business. So, we know if you are in the construction industry, you at least know how to tie this thing down, and you probably have the insurance that's going to cover it if something does happen.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody really thought that was a good idea.
Oh, yeah. One ratchet strap. Yes, sir.
Wow. That was expensive.
Very.
Did you guys get a phone call one day? Hey, I think this thing's out here.
Yeah.
This might be yours.
Yep.
That person probably got home and goes, I have no idea where my Bobcat was.
Yep.
That is awesome. So if you're just the yahoo, you can't come down and get one of these. Now, you can buy one, though. That's the funny thing. You can't rent it. But if you want to buy it, they're fine with that.
Yes, sir. Come see me. Brooks Goodson. I cover Rutherford and Bedford County. My phone number is 615 416-4431. I'd love to have a chat with you and love to have an opportunity to earn your business.
So what else have we got out there?
Oh, any and everything in the compact industry. Side-by-sides, mini track loaders, mini X's, compact track loaders, skid steers, what we're famous for. So we created this industry, and it's what we do best. So
nice.
We stand behind that.
Stand behind it. Right on. Appreciate that. Get on down here. Tell everybody where you're at.
We're at 149 Industrial Boulevard here, Bobcat of Nashville in Laverne, Tennessee. Come see us.
Thanks for feeding us today. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, and by the way, the food was so nice. So nice. So it was just delicious. I appreciate you making me larger than I should be. It's not working like I thought I was going to, doing all those sit-ups. Just saying. So you guys are open till
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We're 7 to 5 Monday through Friday.
That's right, because you got to get at it early, right? You're going to be digging stuff early.
Yes, sir.
How many people do you think bought this or rented this? And they dug right through all of the phone lines and the electricity because they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I bet probably a number so big that we couldn't count.
Oh, Brooks, appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Sir. Thanks for coming.
Oh, so Matt's going to be out here in a little bit. He's going to join me. We'll talk about what's going on with the shooter. They got him today. That's how they came out. Cox, who was Spencer Cox, who was the Utah. It was really interesting. The Utah mayor really did a vast majority of the press conference today, and I was kind of like, that's interesting. And I thought he was really good. He was very upset about everything. But one of the things I was surprised about is he started talking about social media, and we talk about it too. Social media makes, they design it to be addictive. The problem is the food that we crave is division and anger. And I get it from, even people here on this, when they text us or they go on the text line or on, YouTube or whatever. Even my uncle. My uncle's a perfect example of somebody. He's like, dude, look what they're doing here. Look what this guy said about Charlie. Or look what they said. They're evil. They're horrible. They're da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but why are you looking at that? Why? Well, it pops up on my feed. Well, it doesn't pop up on your feed out of accident. It pops up on your feed because you're telling it what you want to hear. And he was really big on social media, today, saying how evil it is and how we need to stop social media. Well, first of all, you're never going to stop it, right? Because 99% of us don't abuse it in that way. We're looking at silly, like for me, my social media, because, I've got my accounts and I use them and I do them, but I've learned how to manipulate a lot of these things when it comes to what I want on my algorithms. And the other night I was telling you guys, I had to send my uncle. He sent me 20 different things about horrible things that people said about, and who were celebrating. I'm like, first of all, what do you care about this person that you'll never meet and that you do not know and that you care very little about? It was only there to rile you up. It's rage bait because they know they're going to get a rage out of you. They're not. Here's the thing. They're not interested in you being somebody who supports them in that situation. They want to piss you off. You know how we do hot takes on Tuesday, but our hot takes are fun and they're,
right.
This is different. This is rage bait, Ken. People like the rage bait.
They're looking for clicks.
Yes, and they want clicks from other people that are mad at them because they're going to say stuff which is going to rile up people. Then the fight goes, and then what happens? An audience builds, which drives me crazy. And that's why I kept telling everybody, you're feeding it that, though, because you're liking it, you're clicking it, you're leaving a message, you're sharing it to other people, which tells the algorithm, oh, you want more of this. You like this. And I had to start sending him silly, stupid, like, look at this person cuddling a bat. Right? And by the way, if you've never seen a bat walk, it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. It is, Here's a sloth. Look at the sloth. He's funny. And
the Hyrax was the best one, though.
The Hyrax. So the Hyrax, you don't know what it is. It is, I think they're from Africa, parts of Asia. They're just... It's a cross between.
I guess it's kind of like a guinea pig.
It's a prairie dog meets a guinea pig meets. It's just they're hilarious, and they have this scream, and they'll look at you and go. And I had to send him 20 of those because he was so enraged. And then finally, he started sending me funny stuff because once he started liking them or sharing or looking at them, they started sending him stuff, the algorithm sending him stuff that almost calm him down kind of thing. And it's, if you feed it, if you ask it, think of it as a genie. If you go and you ask it, and by asking it means you're liking, you're clicking, you're sharing, you're interacting with something like the people fighting, the anger, it's going to give you that over and over again, which enrages you, and then it becomes a rage bait. Rage bait.
And I'm telling you, man, evil feeds off of fear and anger.
Yes.
It just feeds off of it. And it can make you do something that you really regret.
Yeah. Oh, so much. And this kid, he wasn't created in a vacuum. He saw something, and then he found it, and he liked it. And the next thing, he clicked a few different things, and he starts listening to stuff. And then he gets around other people that are like that and angry, and then it starts building in him. But it's not building. His thought process was based on how much he hated Charlie. It wasn't how much he believed in his ideas. See, when you believe in your ideas, you're willing to have people challenge them and debate them and take them on one-on-one. This was all based on the opposite of that. It was based on hate and the disdain. Not based on, because real people who have a serious dispute when it comes to ideology or beliefs, they will go and have that conversation. What Charlie did. Charlie had lots of conversations, lots of them, hundreds of thousands of debates in front of lots of people. Never was mean or disingenuous or he would respectfully disagree. He would have conversations with you. He would throw his ideas out there. And he was more than likely going to win. And in some people's minds, he changed. In other people's minds, they came there not wanting to have their mind changed, just to fire off something pithy at him. But when you spend time with somebody, you'd be surprised. When you meet them, it's a different world. And you find out that they don't, hey, you're different than I thought. There's more to you. And we've lost that humanity. We need more of that in this country. We need to listen more. You need to listen more. That's what we don't do. Listening is super important. I read all of your stuff here. Like, everybody sends me stuff. For the most part, I try to read it all and get back to it. And that includes, we'll get a couple hundred, sometimes more a day. And I try to get back to everybody. Same in my text line for my national show. I get so many, and I try to reach back out to everybody because I want to know what you're feeling, what you're listening. Want to know why you're so angry at stuff. We need to listen more. Part of winning a debate, if you have to win a debate, you never go into debate hoping to win, or a conversation like that. Never go in there trying to change somebody. Go listen to what they have to say. The best way to learn about something that you think your ideas stand up against is to look at it from their point of view, find out what it is that they see that is different. Because a lot of times you'll find out stuff doesn't match up, and maybe you weren't getting the whole truth, or they're not getting the whole truth. All right, coming up, Matt's going to join us. I'm out this time. Yesterday, he was out drinking wine or something. He's enjoying the program straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Wrapping it up on this Friday. Our buddy Matt. Welcome, Matt. How's it going, brother?
Hello, Mr. Chad. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Well, I'm not out with dirt digging equipment, having a good time doing that sort of thing, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, we dirt. You know what? They may need to get one of these buckets to take me to the car. I had a couple hot dogs and stuff.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just like last night I saw you. You're like, hey, we're at the wine place. Come get some wine with me.
Little lethargic out there at the dirt digging joint, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know this, dude. After you eat something every once in a while, you're just like, I want to chill.
Want to take a nap?
Yeah. And then you're out in front of people like, I can't take a nap. Not now. Not now.
What'd you have, hot dogs?
Yeah, they had hot dogs. They had chicken hot dogs. They had burgers. They had these incredible brownie chocolate chip things. Oh, goodness me.
Did you, were they grilled hot dogs? Grilled?
Yeah, they had a huge grill out here.
Charcoal grill?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my favorite. So
it's what the Lord wants.
Like keep it going like twice as long as you think the hot dog should stay on the grill, and then feed it to me. I love it.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? if you go to a restaurant or a place you have a hot dog, right? You go to Chicago style hot dogs, you get one hot dog. You go anywhere else, or you're doing it yourself, you're like, I'll have 12 of those.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have one hot dog.
No, you can't. It was like, I'm not paying for it. It's so bizarre.
How many come in a pack?
Was
8?
it 8 or 10? Well, it depends.
No,
right?
it's 10. No, which was it? It's 10 hot dogs and 8 buns.
That's right.
And no one understands why.
Because Big Bun.
Big Bun wants you to get those extra buns, and then you got the extra buns, and then there they are. And then you know what you have to buy with them?
More hot dogs.
More hot dogs. So Big Bun and Big Hot Dog are in bed together.
Then you find out there are shell companies that are running everything.
Well,
this
and
is
all
the way
of them,
this works.
and Big Bun and Big Hot Dog are obviously owned by Big Pharma because you got to take some blood pressure medication because you're too fat because you're eating all those hot dogs.
That's right. That's it. Oh, what are you talking about today? Any news?
I mean, obviously we're going to cover the latest in news involving the assassin of Charlie Kirk, or the suspected assassin of Charlie Kirk, and then we've got a number of guests today to talk about. Some of these, I don't understand the ego and hubris involved in publicly proclaiming your joy over the death of another human being. That's one thing. And two, thinking that there will be no consequence. And Matthew Hurt, who is heard often on Nashville's Morning News, has stopped by. He's going to be in studio with us talking about his reaction to MTSU, this assistant dean. We got Michael Lotfy, who focused in on the Cumberland University situation. I mean, these folks think, I don't understand their line of thought that they believe that they are free of consequence from their spoken words, but apparently they're learning a few lessons over the last 24 hours or so.
I'm not a big fire somebody because they say something stupid. You aren't either. You and I understand that. But there is also a point of decency and the way that some people have celebrated this, and then they're surprised that something happened to them. This is not a debate about whether or not you liked his speech or you think he's this, that. This was about a human being who died in front of thousands and millions of people in front of his kids.
Right.
And the way that this thing is gone it is insane. And like you said, you have free speech, but the consequences came for you in there, especially educators, which is just mind-blowing.
Well, and if you put your company, the place of employment, if you put them in a position where they have to defend negative backlash, you better be in a very strong position within that company. Otherwise, you expect to get fired, or at least should.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening to these folks. So we'll talk about that today, too.
Man, very interesting. So Matt's got that, a whole bunch of other stuff. Are you watching football this weekend? Who's Georgia play?
Georgia has I think we have the University of Tennessee Volunteers, Chad. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I'll be in Neyland Stadium about this time tomorrow afternoon watching the Dogs whoop up on Big Orange.
My goodness. Yeah. That's right. Are you wearing Georgia stuff now? You got your Georgia shoes on?
I do. Yeah,
fantastic.
Fantastic. Can y'all see me?
You know what? I think we all need to get around each other. This is the beauty of sports, man. There's going to be Republicans, Democrats, atheists, religious people, black, white, green, orange, gay, straight, all in the stadium tomorrow, all rooting for or against another team.
Yep.
And it's going to be enjoyable.
We'll hug each other's neck.